Okay, our game's coming along. It was kind of fun to get this thing rotating and moving around and that sort of thing. And now we can take up the entire window. But the problem now is our ship will just kind of exit the scene. Not cool. And now I can't see the ship, so I have no idea how to make it enter the scene. I'm kind of guessing right now. I'm not sure if we'll see it or not. I don't like that. All right. In fact, the ship probably doesn't like being abandoned like that. So one way to make up for that, there's a few options we can do. We can give some sort of artificial boundary to our scene. We'll do that in a future video, not too far from now. We could also have the ship bounce off the edges. If it hits the edge, then just bounce it right back in. And we could also have the ship wrap around to the other edge, like so. And so that's 3 different types of logic, and we're going to explore all 3 of those in the next set of videos. In this video, however, we're going to have the ship bounce off the edge. I think it's probably the easiest thing to do, and it's real simple. All we have to do is say, hey, ship, if you have crossed one of our boundaries, let's say it crosses this boundary, if its position has gone greater than, remember OpenGL coordinates, I'll kind of draw our crosshairs there. If our position is greater than 1 on the y, or greater than 1 on the x, or less than -1 on the y, or less than -1 on the x, we need to simply turn the ship around, or invert or flip its velocity in that direction. In the case of the y, if the ship crosses the y boundary, then we just take its velocity in the y portion. It doesn't necessarily have to all be y. Well, watch the ship right now. I'm controlling it. Okay, it has some -x velocity and it has some positive y velocity. All we want to do is take the y portion and flip it back into the screen. It's simple. All we need to do is scale by a -1, but scaling is a rendering thing. We just need to multiply the velocity by a -1. Let's do it. Not too difficult at all. We have this update function. We have rotate ship, update velocity, and let's just make another function. Check boundaries, like so, and we're actually going to have to declare that in our header file here. We'll do it with these ones. Put it right there. We'll say void and tab that in. Control L. Alright, check boundaries. Where should we do that? We should probably do that next to the velocity function. So Control End, void MyGL window, check boundaries. Okay. Where are we? Don't we have a ship position? Yeah, ship position. Okay. If ship position dot, let's just do the x's. If the x is less than -1, or the ship position dot x is greater than 1, then is it velocity or ship velocity? Ship velocity dot x times equals -1. Okay, and same thing with the y. If, well, I can copy and paste real well. You've seen me do that before, and it might be justified in this situation, but generally when I copy and paste, you see I end up shooting myself in the foot. But we'll do the same with the y. If we go outside the bounds on the y, then invert, okay, multiply that velocity in the y portion by -1. Let's see. Let's just test the y portion here. I'm gonna hit the up arrow and go towards the top of the window, and sure enough, it looks like we're bouncing. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right, let's try the x direction. I'll just turn it this way, kind of in the x, and hit the forward and bounce, bounce. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right, so that was simple, but there's some issues that's actually not coming out here. I think if let's close this, close that, and I don't think I want to fix the issue now. I'd rather wait till the issue raises its head so you can see the importance of it. But let me just run this again, and if we take our ship, and our check is saying, hey, if the position, let's just do the y position. If the y position is greater than 1, okay, so let's say our ship, between frames, our ship was here, and now our ship is up here. We say, hey, if we're past 1 invert the velocity. So we turn the velocity back into the screen. But then let's say on the next frame we don't make it all the way in. Say we have some friction. Okay, if we add friction to our game here, we'd see this probably quite quickly. But say the friction stopped it and said, hey, stop right here. Okay, let's do the next frame right here. We say, hey, is the y greater than 1? Well, yeah, it's still greater than 1. The ship didn't cross back into the screen. So then we invert the velocity again. We point the velocity out of the window. But anyway, we're not seeing it in this example because our example's too simple. But we'll quickly see that, sure enough, our ship will kind of get stuck here on the edge. And it'll bounce and go and not be able to get out of that edge. But since it's not doing that now, I'm not going to fix that. I'll wait till that issue actually raises its head and then fix it. I think that's more worthwhile for you and for me. But now we're bouncing off the edge of the screen. The next thing to implement is roll over. And then the thing we'll do after that is bouncing off some arbitrary edge.